Good morning. Today's topic, experimental determination of order of the reactions and temperature effect on rate of the reaction. Here, first one, experimental determination of order of the reaction. Generally, order means it is the sum of the powers of the concentration of the reactants which takes place in the rate expression equation is called order. The order of reactions are determined experimentally by four methods. First method, integration method, that is trial method. Second method, fractional life method. Third method, want of differential method. Fourth one, Ostwald isolation method. Among these four, that is first one is integration method. It is also called trial method. In this method, the amount of reactant consumed after different time intervals of time are determined and this data is substituted in the different rate constant equations. That is, for example, zero order rate constant K0 equal to x by t. First order rate constant K1 equal to 2.303 by t into log a by a minus x. Second order rate constant K2 equal to 1 by t into x by a into a minus x. And third order rate constant K3 equal to 1 by 2t into 1 by a minus x whole square minus 1 by a square. While substituting the amount of reactants left after different time intervals in the above rate constant equations, the equation which gives almost a constant value of K decides the order of reaction. Here briefly it can simply explain that. Simply we can say that first determine the concentrations of the reactants after different time intervals which are substituted in the different rate constant equations, that is 0, first, second and third order rate constant equations. The equation which gives almost a constant value of K decides the order of the reaction. That is integration method or trial method. Next, second method is half-life method, or it can also call fractional life method. In this method, time required to complete half of the reactants into products is called half-life period. Here, based on the relation between the half-life period and initial concentrations of the different orders, like first zero order half-life period is inversely directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactants. Similarly, the first order half-life period is independent of initial concentration of the reactants. Similarly, the second order half-life period is inversely proportional to the initial concentration of the reactants. And the third order half-life period is inversely proportional to the square of the initial concentration of the reactants. Here, based on these four equations, that is zero order half-life period, T0 of is directly proportional to a first order half-life period is independent of initial concentration of the reactants. Second order half-life period is inversely proportional to initial concentration. Third order half-life period is inversely proportional to the square of the initial concentration of the reactants. Here, based on the half-life period and initial concentrations of 0, first, second, and third order reactions, here the nth order half-life period is inversely proportional to the n minus 1 power of initial concentration of the reactants. Here that can be written as Tn of is inversely proportional to a to the power of n minus 1. Here in these reactions, A1 and A2 are the initial concentrations of the two different reactants. T1 of and T2 of are the half-life periods of individual reactants. Here, based on that equation, that is T1 of is inversely proportional to A1 to the power of n minus 1 is equation number 1. Similarly, T2 of is inversely proportional to A2 to the power of n minus 1 is equation number 2. That is, divide the equation 1 with 2, that is T1 of by T2 of equal to, that is 1 by A1 to the power of n minus 1 by 1 by A2 to the power of n minus 1. That implies T1 of by T2 of equal to A2 by A1 whole to the power of n minus 1. Taking logarithm for both sides, that is log T1 of by log T1 of by T2 of equal to log A2 by A1 whole to the power of n minus 1. That implies log T1 of by T2 of equal to n minus 1 log A2 by A1. That implies n minus 1 equal to log T1 of by T2 of whole by log A2 by A1. N equal to 1 plus log T1 of by T2 of by log A2 by A1, or the same equation can be written as n equal to 1 plus log T1 of minus log T2 of by log A2 minus log A1, where n is the order of the reaction and thus can be calculated by knowing the values of A1, A2, T1 of and T2 of. Means here A1, A2 are the initial concentrations of the two different reactants. T1 of and T2 of are the half-life periods of the chemical reaction. Here it is also called fractional life method or half-life method. Here by using n equal to, that is 1 plus log T1 of minus log T2 of by log A2 minus log A1 principle, we can calculate the order of the reaction n while substituting the values of concentration terms A1, A2 and half-life periods T1 of and T2 of. Next, third method is want of differential method. Here, in this method, the generally according to law of mass action at constant temperature, the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the product of the concentration of the reactants. Here, in a chemical reaction, C1 reactants are converted into X products. According to law of mass action, the rate, that is minus dC1 by dt equal to some proportionality constant K into C to the power of n. During the chemical reaction, that is C reactants are converted into X products, According to law of mass action, the rate of reaction minus dC by dt is directly proportional to the C to the power of n. That implies minus dC by dt equal to, that is K, proportionality constant K into C to the power of n. Here the same reaction is carried out by using two different initial concentrations like C1. In the first reaction, the concentration of reactants is C1. It is converted into X products. Here, according to law of mass action, minus dC1 by dt equal to Kn into C1 to the power of n. Similarly, in another chemical reaction, C2 reactants are converted into products according to law of mass action, minus dC2 by dt equal to K into C2 to the power of n. Here on taking logarithm for both sides of above two reactions, that is log minus dC1 by dt equal to log K into C1 to the power of n. That implies log minus dC1 by dt equal to log K plus n log C1 is equation number 1. Similarly, while taking logarithm for another reaction, that is the another equation, that is log minus dC2 by dt equal to log K into C2 to the power of n. That implies log minus dC2 by dt equal to log K plus n log C2 is equation number 2. Subtract equation 2 from equation number 1, that is 1 minus 2. The log minus dC1 by dt minus log minus dC2 by dt equal to log K plus n log C1 minus log K minus n log C2. Here that implies log minus dC1 by dt minus log minus dC2 by dt equal to, taking log n common, that is log C1 minus log C2. That implies n equal to log minus dC1 by dt minus log minus dC2 by dt whole by log C1 minus log C2. Here, to determine the order of reaction, the rates of reaction dC1 by dt comma dC2 by dt are to be calculated at two different concentrations of, that is C1 and C2 respectively. Here at different concentrations of reactants C1 and C2, we can calculate the rate of reactions like dC1 by dt and dC2 by dt. Substitute these values in above equation, that is n equal to log minus dC1 by dt minus log minus dC2 by dt whole by log C1 minus log C2. While substituting these values in above equation, we can get order of reaction. It is called Van 't differential method. Next, fourth method is Ostwald isolation method. Simply, it can be stated as in this method, during the chemical reaction, two or more reactants are participated. For every time one of the reactant is isolated, the rest of the reactant molecules are taken large quantity. Here, while taking the reactant molecules in large quantity, the order of reaction doesn't depend upon the reactant molecules which are participated in the large quantity. Therefore, here the order is obtained with respect to the minimum concentration of the reactants. Therefore, Here in this method, all the reactants except one are taken in large amounts so that the concentration remains constant throughout the reaction. Thus, the order of reaction determined with respect to isolated molecules. The experiment is repeated by isolating each reactant molecules in terms. The total order of the reaction will give by the sum of the orders of isolated molecules. For example, A plus B plus C, it gives products. In the first step, A is isolated, means A is taking very small quantity or minimum quantity. The rest of B and C reactants are taken in large quantity. The order with respect to A is some X. In the second step, B is isolated molecule, means B is taking very little amount or small amount. The rest of A and C are taken large quantities. The order with respect to B is some Y. Similarly, in the third step, C is taken as isolated atom. The rest of A and B are taken large quantities. The order with respect to C is Z. The total order of the reaction is the sum of the orders of the isolated atoms, that is X plus Y plus Z. That is the calculation of order of the reaction. It is also called Ostwald isolation method. These are the four methods which are used to experimentally determine the order of the reactions. One is integration method or trial method. Second one is fractional life method or half-life method. Third one, want of differential method. Fourth one is Ostwald isolation method. Next one is temperature effect on rate of reaction. Generally, the most of the chemical reactions are depends upon the temperature of the reactants. The rate of reaction generally increased with the increase in temperature. Here, the increase in temperature of every 10 degrees centigrade. Here, during the chemical reaction, while increasing the temperature of reactants by every 10 degrees centigrade, the rate of the reaction generally increased by 2 times or 2 to 3 times. Means during the chemical reaction, for every 10 degrees centigrade rising the temperature of the molecule, the rate is doubled or it increases 2 to 3 times. This is called temperature coefficient. That is, the temperature coefficient equal to rate constant at 35 degrees centigrade by rate constant at 25 degrees centigrade. That equal to 2 or 2 to 3 times. The raising temperature increase the first, while raising the temperature of the reactant molecules can increase the kinetic energy of the molecule. While increasing the kinetic energy, the collisions between the reactant molecules increases. Means the number of collisions increases simultaneously to form a products. Therefore, the reaction occur very fast by raising the temperature of the reactant molecule. Here, the raising temperature also increase the energy of molecules. Hence, more number of molecules reaches threshold energy. The collisions between the molecules are fruitful collisions to form the products. Here the relation between the rate constant and temperature is initially given by Arrhenius. The Arrhenius equation is K equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT, where here K is a rate constant, A is a frequency factor, EA is an activation energy, R is an ideal gas constant, T is temperature. Apply logarithm for both sides. Here log K equal to minus EA by RT plus log A. Here it is similar with y is equal to mx plus c general equation. While plotting the graph between log K versus 1 by T, here the negative slope of straight line is obtained. Negative slope of straight line is obtained. Here the slope of straight line equal to EA by R, that is EA by 2.303 R. From this graph, we can calculate the activation energy. EA equal to 2.303 into R into slope of a straight line. That is the first the Arrhenius equation, K equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT, taking logarithm for both sides, log K equal to EA by minus EA by 2.303 RT plus log A. It is similar with y is equal to mx plus c general equation. While plotting the graph between the log K versus 1 by T, the negative slope of straight line, that is the negative slope of straight line is obtained. The slope of straight line equal to AB by BC equal to EA by 2.303 R. From this slope, we can calculate the activation energy. EA equal to 2.303 R into slope. Here the intersect point equal to, it is the intersect point. The intersect point equal to, that is log A. Intersect point, it is this value is equal to log A. Next one, here from the Arrhenius equation, here a straight line graph is obtained when the logarithm of the rate constant is plotted against the reciprocal of absolute temperature. The slope of line will be equal to EA by 2.303 R. If the same equation can be applied to the two different temperatures, that is T1 and T2 degree centigrade, the rate constants are K1 and K2. If K1 and K2 are the reaction rates at different temperatures T1 and T2, they have the relationship between them are, that is log K1 by K2 equal to EA by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. It is the relation between the specific reaction rates and activation energy, or specific reaction rates and temperature. Here first Arrhenius equation, the quantitative relationship between the rate constant and temperature is given by following equation called Arrhenius equation, that is K is equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT is equation number 1, where A is a frequency factor and is constant. It is related to the number of binary molecular collisions per second per liter. EA is an activation energy. It is the excess energy above the average energy of reactants in the ground state. It is required by reactant molecules for effective collisions or fruitful collisions. Here T is absolute temperature or gas constant. Taking logarithm, that is log K equal to log A minus EA by RT, that is 2.303 log K equal to 2.303 log A minus EA by RT. where log K equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 RT, which is equation number 2. Here it is similar with y is equal to mx plus c general equation. Here when plot the graph between log K versus 1 by t, here it is log K versus 1 by t. Here the negative slope of straight line is obtained. The slope of straight line equal to minus EA by 2.303 R. That implies EA equal to 2.303 R into slope. The intercept of this line, it is the intercept value. This is intercept value, that is equal to log A. Next one, here, thus knowing the value of slope and gas constant or activation energy can be calculated as follows. Here EA equal to 2 minus 2.303 R into slope. The activation energy E and frequency factor A can be determined by measuring the rate constant at two different temperatures, that is T1 and T2 degree centigrade. Here, for example, at T1 degree centigrade, rate constant K1, that is log K1 equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 or T1 is equation number 3. Similarly, at T2 degree centigrade temperature, rate constant is K2. Therefore, log K2 equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 or T2 is equation number 4. Subtract equation 3 from 4. That is, we get log K2 minus log K1 equal to minus EA by 2.303 RT2 minus of EA by 2.303 RT1. That implies log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 RT1 minus EA by 2.303 RT2. That implies log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 R common 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, or that implies log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. That is the relation between the specific reaction rates and activation energy, or specific reaction rates and temperature. Here the temperature coefficient, the rate of reaction generally increased with the increase in temperature. The increase in temperature of every 10 degrees centigrade, the rate of the reaction generally increased by 2 times or double the reaction, or it increases 2 to 3 times. This is called temperature coefficient. The temperature coefficient equal to rate constant at 35 degrees centigrade by rate constant at 25 degrees centigrade. Here the main concept of activation energy is the excess energy that the reactant molecule acquired to attain the threshold energy. Here threshold energy means the minimum amount of energy required to the reactant molecules to participate in the chemical reaction is called threshold energy. During the chemical reactions, the reactant molecules are collide with each other. Here the collisions between the reactant molecules are causes for the chemical reaction. But all collisions between the reactants are not cause for the chemical reaction. Only fruitful collisions are causes for the chemical reaction. Therefore, here to obtain the fruitful collisions, the minimum amount of energy required to the reactant molecules to participate in the chemical reaction is called threshold energy. Here the excess energy that reactant molecules acquire to attain threshold energy in order to react to form products is called activation energy. Here while plot the graph between the energy versus reaction coordinates, that is reactants gradually increase the energy barrier here, that is the threshold energy barrier. After getting threshold energy, the molecules are collide with each other, it loses the energy and it is converted into products. Means that is the activation energy equal to threshold energy minus energy possessed by the molecule. The average energy possessed by the molecule. That is E activation energy EA equal to threshold energy ET minus average energy possessed by the molecule ER. The concept of activation energy may be illustrated by energy versus reaction coordinates as shown in the above diagram. Here, that is, if E1, the activation energy of products is higher than E, activation energy of the reactants. The reaction is exothermic. Once again here, if ER, the activation EP, the activation energy of products is higher than ER, the activation energy of the reactants, the reaction is exothermic. While the endothermic reactions, the activation energy of products are less than the activation E is greater than EP, means ER is greater than EP or EP is less than ER. Here again the same equation, from this equation we can calculate the activation energy of chemical reaction by using the Arrhenius equation. That is calculation of activation energy by using Arrhenius equation, that is K is equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT, where A is the frequency factor or constant, EA activation energy, or gas constant, T temperature, where E is the 2.718. The value of K1 and K2 of reactions at temperature T1 and T2 are related by the following relation, that is log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. Here it is derived from this Arrhenius equation. The Arrhenius equation, K equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT, log K, taking logarithm for both sides, log K equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 RT. Here at different temperatures T1 and T2, the rate constants are K1 and K2. That is log K1 equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 or T1 is equation number 1. Next, log K2 equal to log A minus EA by 2.303 or T2 is equation number 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2, we will get log K2 minus log K1 equal to EA by 2.303 or T2 minus plus EA by 2.303 RT1, or that is log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, or that can be written as log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T2. Here that is the temperature effect on rate of the reaction. Here in these chemical reactions generally are in the kinetics of the chemical reactions. Here the activation energy is decreases by using the catalyst during the chemical reactions. Here in the kinetics it explains the rate with respect to the temperature, concentration and pressure, and it can also explain the mechanism of a chemical reaction. Here, by using a simple chart, then we can determine the time required for completion of the different stages of the chemical reaction. For example, the time required for completion of some 75% or 87.5% or 93.875 percentage or 96.875 percentage or 99 percentage or 99.9 percentage of the chemical reaction. That is, the simple chart is, that is A reactants, it gives rise to X products. Initial concentration of reactants is 100%. When the reaction is not started, means T is equal to 0, the obtained products concentration X is 0. But when the reaction is going on, first half-life time means the time required for conversion of half of the reactants into products is called half-life time. At first half-life time, the concentration of reactants is 50, concentration of products is 50, time is T equal to TR. Similarly, in the second half-life time means for second half-life time, the initial concentration of reactants are 50%. Among the 50, again the 50% means 25% is converted into products, means we obtain 75% of the products at the time the concentration of reactants is 25. In the time required, T75 equal to 2TR. Similarly, third half-life time, reactants left is 12.5, products concentration is 87.5, T 87.5 equal to 3TR. Similarly, fourth half-life time, the left out reactants are 3.125. That is the 12.5, 6.25. Then the products concentration is 93.75%. Then T 93.75 equal to 4TR. Similarly, 5TR equal to the T 96.875%. Similarly, 10TR equal to T 99.9%. By using this flow sheet, then we can calculate the time required for completion of the different order. It is discussed in the next class, that is collision theory, activation state theory, and problems. Thank you.